We're going to hop into SaberSim 1.0. My goal for the tutorial on 1.0 is just talking about everything that it covers in terms of the sports. They actually built it out for DFS, which we're all here for, but they're ahead of the curve on, there's a lot of carryover from people that play DFS, but also like betting on sports. So there's some handicapping in there. There's some archives, and then we're going to do some demos. So we're going to hop right into 1.0. And whenever I log into 1.0, this is the first screen that I come to. They have NFL, NHL, NBA. Right now with MLB being the only thing in season, we're just going to focus on MLB today. If you click on the games, this is going to give you all of the factors that you guys like looking at. What are the implied totals? What are the odds of winning? What are the Vegas totals? So this is a great way to get a lot of information. Has the weather, and it's just broken out. Has the probable pitchers, and then anytime you see a green check mark is a confirmed player. So these are the starting pitchers that have been confirmed. So if you just scroll down, you can get all of the information. Nice, clean, beautiful look. If you click on the detailed projection, it'll take you into. This is what I love about the site is, for me, like a knucklehead, like that something like we just saw would make my brain hurt. Like this is all I want to see. But sir, for like the people like you that like really love like diving into, all the nuance behind the scenes, like here's everything that it's capable of, and everything that goes into what we just saw on the other screen. You can mess with this stuff. You can really go nuts. My goal is not to give you guys, to do a complete, rabbit hole and everything. I just want to try to show you everything from a macro level, and then guys can go in and spend some time. And I believe they have like a free week trial. Like you can sign up for a week and totally give it a whirl for a week without, deciding if you want to spend the $40 to get it for the full month. So some of the things that I really like here is it gives you everything from a statistical standpoint, and then you can also see it from a DFS perspective. So what I mean by is this is all the advanced stats that you guys like. So, our K per 9 and our K percentage. There's things that we've talked about, how to find the runs. There's your metrics per starting pitcher. So there's another way for you guys to get some really good advanced stats without having to do any of the legwork other than logging into a site to log on. Some of you guys, love all the advanced baseball stats, the WOBA, the ISO, it's all here. You can go into the components, going to give you the breakdown of the probabilities, like taking a look at Gary Sanchez has a 35% chance of hitting a home run. Taking a look at the pitchers, quality start, Verlander has a 62% chance at a quality start. Like, this is great. Like, for somebody that's like me that doesn't dive super into the numbers, like, it's nice to know it's here in case I need it. But I know there's some guys out there that just like, they want to see every single piece, every single morsel of data, and these guys have it. And then you go over to the DFS section, and this is where you're going to have the projections, their price. And this is one of the things that I love, because this came in really handy last year when teams like the Rays started using their opener. So, we weren't sure how the openers were going to go. And then after the Rays did it a couple times, you could start to see, this guy is only going to throw, Stanik's only going to throw for like 2 innings. It's like, all right, well, if we have a 5-inning projection, we can cut that, by 40% or by 60% down to 40% and work backwards. But it has all the points. It's really neat too if you're like looking for a batter, and let's say you're putting together a cash lineup and you need, one more player, and you want to know, hey, what's Charlie Blackmon coming in at? You can just type in his name and it pops up right there. So really slick on that. If you like to download your projections, you can download the projections. I do it every single day. I can't believe it's right here. Export to CSV. So you click that, it'll download all the projections. So you can take them and add them to your Google Sheets, or you can add them to a different optimizer of choice. You can build from this site, but I'm going to actually hold off building here to show you guys where to. I think building's a little bit easier on 2.0, but here's some of the stuff that you guys could add if you did want to build from 1.0. Another cool thing here is it'll show you a breakdown of all the slates. What's really cool also is down here on the bottom left, we have our timestamp. So as new lineups come in, you can see the last time it was updated. If you click on adjust games, this is really neat. This is how I'll stay on top of lineups leading up to lock. Any team with a green check mark is a confirmed lineup. So I'm just building, and I like to typically, like, I get asked this question, like, what's your routine before a slate? So an hour out, like, I'm focused, I'm in front of the computer, I'm ready to build. And then from, an hour to 30 minutes out, I'm doing all my back end stuff, getting my CSV organized, making sure that all of the variables within my control are being accounted for. Once the game starts, it's out of my control, but I can do enough stuff behind the scenes and making sure, hey, all of the lineups are confirmed. Making sure I know which teams are rolling with an opener and which ones are going, with a traditional pitcher, to see if I want to avoid the openers altogether or which guys I want to get exposure to. But I'm clicking on this pretty often to see how the lineups, which lineups have been confirmed, and then hitting the refresh on this to get a new timestamp to make sure that as the late lineups come in, I know the last time it was updated. And same thing, so we're on the full slate today. Let's go to our turbo slate, the 6-gamer, and you'll notice that the timestamp's going to be a little bit different because all of the teams here were confirmed much earlier than the full game slate. So that's just a little tidbit. It also has tiers. It has FanDuel. It has the FanDuel single game. It also has DraftKings Showdown, but that's actually available on 2.0. So we'll save that for the 2.0 aspect. I'll just show you, if you did want to do a build, how you would go about doing that with 1.0. So it's, and that's another thing too. Like, you can click the SaberSim projections, or like if you wanted to upload your own projections, you could. So if you're like, dude, like, I can only afford a projection source and an optimizer, but I want to get better at making my own projections, you can do both. Like, that's what I love about what these guys have done, is that they've just built something that is more than what most of us would need to be able to do. But I'd rather have more things and not use them than not enough. So if you click generate lineup, this is going to be where you generate a lineup. It just built off of, so I was on the FanDuel, so let's go back to DraftKings. And let's just say we wanted to build a cash lineup. We're not messing with any of the factors. All right, so DraftKings, we have to do stuff. So let's just lock Verlander and Kershaw. Again, I don't play cash, so don't take my advice. But let's say you're paying up for pitching, you want to build a cash lineup. It's generating a lineup for us. And the way that, so SaberSim is for simulations. So my understanding is that for every game, every scenario, they're playing it out in their algorithms and their projections 5,000 times. So for every scenario of what Verlander's outputs could be, it's been simulated 5,000 times. So I think my internet's a little slow. It's generating a lineup, which would be like our quote-unquote cash lineup, but that's where you would do it. So that's the rundown of 1.0. Again, do the week trial, give it a whirl, and come in here and just play around and play around and play around. So our cash lineup, so it looks like we're on some nice plays here. Got some stud pitchers. The Indians are in double digits right now. Grichuk hit a home run. So without knowing a ton about the slate, this looks like this lineup would at least get to the cash line, assuming Verlander and Kershaw didn't get rocked. So there's already, I want to say, at least 3 home runs and probably close to 15 strikeouts in this lineup. So again, I don't play cash, but I would think that would be good enough to get you to the cash line. And then again, this is what it's projecting. This is the salary that it was used. You can save it and then export it to DraftKings. Lineup analysis. I've actually never clicked this button, so we'll see what that entails. Like, when I said, like, I'm not the most qualified person to do this, like, I'm not joking, but I just want to try to show you as many capabilities. I mean, this is just like such a powerful tool. Like, I don't know, like, how many of you guys like remember that movie from the 80s? It was like I actually think it was like the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. The movie with Fred Savage where they go on a video game quest to play Mario Brothers 3 with his little brother Jimmy, and they meet that one dude, I forget, Lucas. And he's got the power glove. He puts on the power glove and he's like kicking ass at the video games at Nintendo, and he's like, I love the power glove. It's so bad. Like, that's how I feel about SaberSim. So I kind of went off the rails here, but this will wrap up our segment with 1.0. Get the free trial, come sign up, play with all the stuff, and just enjoy yourself, because this is the power glove of DFS. This is the Kawhi Leonard of DFS. Like, it's so bad. Like, bad isn't good.